If you ever thought about buying a property in Italy, I'm sure that at least once you came up with that question. How many taxes I have to pay when I buy in Italy? And I know that this question could be scary, and the answer is not so straightforward because taxation law in Italy could be tricky if, of course, you are not followed by a professional, which I always recommend. So, I'm Francesco from Via Dei Colli, and this is the matter that I will cover on this video. So, when you buy a property in Italy, the first thing that you have to know is that if you buy as a first house or as a second house. Of course, you can see the percentage are different, but to be eligible to buy a first house, of course, it needs to be your first house in Italy, but you need to have the residency in Italy. So this is not so straightforward. So a lot of people say, okay, so I buy as a first house, so I can pay less taxes. It is not working like that. Of course, you need to be eligible to have residency, etc. This could be a matter of another video, but by now you just need to understand this. And another thing, there are, of course, taxes that you will pay at the moment of the purchase, and that's it. So those are one-time payments, and then there are annual taxes that, of course, are recurring. Every year you will pay for that, and I will cover that later on. Before that, let's talk about the taxes at the moment of the purchase, because a lot of people are really confused here and confused about I think the most confusing thing is the land registry value, the what we call catasto, the cadastral value, because in Italy you are not paying taxes on the price you pay for the house, so on the market value of the house, but on the cadastral value, on the land registry value, which, to be really clear, it's a value that the state gives to every property. So for the state, that property that you will buy for 1 million could be worth half for 400k, 500k, and a little. I need to be clear that here that the land registry value, especially in our market, so in countryside villas, farmhouse, etc., it's always much lower than the actual market price of the property. So yes, you will pay taxes on a lower value than the price you pay for the property, and this value is fixed and is given by the state, the catasto, and is the land registry value, which of course your agent will know. So you need to ask this to know how many taxes you have to pay. And as you can see here, if you buy a first house, you will pay 2%. If you buy a second house, as a second house, so like basically 90% of people that is from the USA, UK, etc., for all over the world that are buying in Italy, they are buying a second house, and you need to pay 9% of the land registry value of the property. So this is variable, of course. So a bigger property will have a higher land registry value. Now I'm not digging into the details of the land registry because it's tricky, but you just need to know that. So you are paying 9% of the land registry value of the property. Then, of course, there will be some fixed expenses that are around 500 euros, more or less, but of course it depends on the comune, etc. We call bolli and registration expenses that of course you have to pay to the notary, but those are not taxes, but of course expenses that you will pay just once at the moment of the purchase. And because I introduced the argument, I want to be clear. I want to be clear. Those are not, of course, the only expenses you will have on the property, because there are other expenses for the services, etc. And for the notary, I will explain in a video the role of the notary and the deed of sale, but now I'm talking just about the taxation, so money that from your pocket will go to the state when you buy a property. So yes, basically that's all you need to know for the taxes at the moment of the purchase. But an important thing is that you can only pay 9% or 2% of the land registry value if you buy as a private. Because if you will buy with a company, you will pay always this percentage, but on the actual price you pay for the property. So if you buy as a private, let's say you buy a property for 1 million, the land registry value could be 500,000 euros, and you pay 9% on 500k. If you buy as a company, you will pay 9% on 1 million. That's the difference. And speaking about the annual taxes, there are the IMU and the TARI, so the council tax and the waste disposal tax for garbage. So as a first house, now you are not paying for the IMU, so there is no IMU, but there is the TARI, and it depends on house to house, on the square meters, and on the comune, on the municipality is the comune, and on the usage you make about the property. And as a second house, you will pay the IMU, the council tax, and the TARI. Of course, I can tell you how much you will pay, because every property is different, every municipality is different, and you can pay these taxes on 2 to 3 installments, yearly installments. So of course the IMO is not as much as this, but when you are asking information about the property, and this is how we do it, we always make some calculation about the IMO and the TARI as well, because those are taxes that you will pay every year, and you should ask to your agent how many expenses, of course, you will have. And so basically that's it for the taxation. This is everything you need to know. Then there are ways in which I can pay less taxes. Yes, maybe, but like if you buy some agricultural company, etc., with a company, you can pay less taxes, but you need to be a professional agricultural in Italy, or you need to have someone that has this qualification. So I don't want to bother with that, but if this matter, it's a matter of interest about you, let me know in the comment, and I will explain that to you as well, because for now I think that that's basically it for this video. And I really wanted to make that because a lot of people are confused. Like some clients told me, okay, but I have to pay 22% of VAT on the property, etc. No, you don't have to pay 22% of VAT on the value of the property. That would be a huge taxation, of course. You just need to pay that, and I think 90% of people are interested on this, on the second house matter. So 9% of the land registry value plus some fixed expenses, plus of course the annual expenses, the recurring expenses. expenses, yes. So let me know in the comment if you want to know some other things about Italian law and taxation, and I will be happy to answer.